Okay, radical functions with solutions, x-intercepts, and intersections. Sketch the graph of that equation and verify that the value of the x-intercept is the same as the solution. So we're going to graph this. This would be left 1, down 2. That would be the starter point. And then I'm going to do an over up 1, 1, 4, 2, 9, 3. So 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. So that would be that graph. Put some markers on our axis. Now the solution to this, so we're going to do this algebraically. So I'm going to add 2. Then I'm going to square both sides to get rid of the square root. Then I'm going to subtract 1, so x equals 3. And when I look on my graph, the coordinate 3, 0 is an x-intercept of 3.
How did you make it in today?
Solve the following equation. So I'm going to algebraically add 2 here. Now I'm going to square to get rid of the square root. So that's 4. And now I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So 12 equals 4x and divide by 4. So x equals 3. Explain how your answer is related to the graph of this. It would be the x-intercept of this graph. In other words, this would be your point 3, 0. Because you can see here, this was the replacement for the y value of 0. Identify the x-intercept on this graph. So algebraically, you could do this by setting y to 0. That's what an x-intercept is. And then if you square both sides, that's still 0. And if you divide by 2, that's still 0. And then you subtract 5. Okay, you could also understand the graph of this. So this means to shift the graph left 5. And then it doesn't really matter the rest of it, but this goes still to the right up, just compressed. But that would be the graph. So the the x-intercept would be -5 still. Using the graphs below, state the solution of the equation. So where does this, which is the line, equal this, which is the radical? So if you were to algebraically go solve this, you would need an answer of x equals something when you solve that equation. But if I use the graph, where does this equation equal this equation? Right here. So the answer would be the x value of -1. I get a lot of mistakes stating the coordinate of the point. The coordinate of the point is not the solution to the equation, because think about the algebra. The final answer would be x equals something. Using this graph, solve for where f of x equals g of x. So again, there's our intersection. So where they equal each other. Okay, and again, you're just stating that x equals 2 is the solution, because that is where they're equaling each other, not the coordinate of the point.